Okay, we're getting ready to put this American Bosch MJK 4/2 Magneto back together, and we have to first put fresh grease in the bearings. Now, you don't want to fill these bearings all the way up, just about half full between the bellows. And I'm using some really good stuff. It's boat trailer wheel bearing grease. And the stuff is basically advertised as being able to keep its shit together under adverse conditions. So basically I've just dabbled, not completely filled those bearings, but just dabbled some of that boat trailer grease into between the balls. And I'll set that over there. Now we have a felt seal, which goes in this pocket where the ball bearing goes. So we put this felt seal in first. There you see it right at the bottom there. And then we are going to set the magnet rotor down through that seal, like that. Let's see what it looks like. Yep, it didn't bring the seal with it. Now, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put this nasty little son of a bitch in, which is this, that goes in here with a little bit of 50 weight oil. And then we got to put that little thrust washer in that teeny little ring. Okay, well, it feels good. Now, we got to find the thrust washer in that little ring. And if I lose that ring, there'll be some colorful language involved. There's that little fucker. And there's that little fucker. Here's the thrust washer. Now, here's that little ring. Now, somehow, I got to get this teeny little fucking ring on top into that snap ring groove. God damn it. We'll all be dipped in shit. It's on. How about that? Kind of wondered if I could do that. Well, now we will reinsert the magnet rotor. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, we have to put the coil in. So we will slip the coil down in there. Make sure that that wire comes out where it's supposed to. Yep, there it is. And we will tighten the bolts. Now there's a little counter bore in the coil iron core, and these things fit right down into it. It'd probably be easier to put the coil in before I put the magnet rotor in. But I was so excited to put this thing together that I just started throwing shit into it. Okay, there you are. We got the coil, we got the magnet rotor. Now we put the back on. Now, if I were doing this for permanent, I would have put a new seal in it, new gaskets, and that shit. Basically, I'm just doing it to show that these things aren't that complicated. They aren't impossible to fix. And why in the world of fuck would you want to spend $400, $500, $600 for a rebuilt one when you can put a few new parts in it, clean it up, and put it back to work on your machine? That's the big question. I'm missing a fucking machine screw here. There's, no, that's it. No, there it is. Now keep in mind, when you put new gaskets in these things, they can hang up. What I mean is they could start getting pinched down into the flange. And if you don't have them exactly in the right position, and that happens, especially on the plastic cap, you'll be tightening that down and you think you'll be doing a wonderful fucking job, and all of a sudden you hear a crack. I speak from personal experience. I broke a fucking cap on one of the first ones of these I fucked with when I was putting it back on with a new gasket. Didn't realize what was happening, and it pinched about 1/16 of an inch of that gasket and tried to take it down inside the counter bore with the plastic cap, and the plastic cap didn't like that. So the plastic cap ended up with a nice big fucking crack in it, and they are not cheap. All the things I'm cautioning you about, I've already done it the hard way or the wrong way before. I'm kind of amazed I got that little tiny ring on there. I mean, that was worth making a movie for all by itself. Okay, we got the back on. Now we gotta start putting the front of this fucker together with all those teeny little hooty-doos. Now, first thing that goes on is this here plate. Now, there's two ways it can go on there. And if you try to put it on there wrong, you got a problem. Okay, this is the way it goes. Now, we got to dribble a little bit of 50 weight oil into that wick. And I sure wish I had a fucking Q-tip around here somewhere. Why don't I just use this? Perfecto. There's always a different way to use a fucking zip tie. Okay, the next thing that goes on, I forgot, is this drive gear. Now remember, the drive gear is marked. It's got a slot, actually a little divot there, and a red mark. And it has to line up with the C in this driven gear. And there's a key in there. So we have to turn the magnet rotor, which isn't easy with that magnet in there. Okay, you wait till the Woodruff key is up. You slide down on there like that. And you see, the C is lined up with the little red mark. Now we have a small nut, and a small lock washer that goes on there, right here. Here's a lock washer. Well, that's too fucking small. That's not it. There it is. Find a way to hold on to that bastard. Put a nut on it. And we'll get a half-inch wrench. I'll put the 7/16 on here. Come on. There. So, what we have to do now is back to this. That's the top. Yeah, we got the wick all wicked up. And we got two pretty good size screws. Where's that other son of a bitch? It's got a flat washer. One of these may have been missing the flat washer, I think. See, we're putting in that base plate for the breaker points. There's that other flat washer. My wife was giving me some shit after she watched the one I posted about that impulse coupler. And she says, well, what's that cheese can doing on your desk? What are you doing with that cheese can on your desk? And I said, well, that's where I put parts. It's one of the most convenient little things to put parts in. It can't tip over if you set it on a car seat or something. And it's flat and it's shallow. It's just a perfect deal. Well, Sugar Gold cheese comes in these things. They make it at Washington State University out there in the middle of the horse cow country. They call it Moo U. Anyway, Moo U makes pretty good cheese. Now, here's this little puzzle with the breaker points and the condenser and the shutdown wire. Now we have to find that tiny little fucking screw. I think it's this one. Nope. It's one size smaller. Is this one? Not that one. There it is. That's it. And I have to assemble this with that nice hard spring, this and this correctly. So this is where the points go. This is where the condenser goes. And this is where this hootie-doo goes. So I will place this over this. So far so good, right? And then I have to capture this contact strap and spring, line it up with the hole, and get that little fucking screw started through there. God damn it. Okay, it started. No, I still got to make sure I got it right, because I may have that condenser on the wrong end. Nope. Okay, the condenser had kind of a long, skinny there it is. I think that held the condenser in. Now a couple of these little fuckers hold this in. Another one in here. You see how much fun these fuckers are to work with? Look at the size of that son of a bitch. I mean, it's 1/4 inch long. It has to go down into that little pocket. Where's my little magnetic fancy son of a bitch here? There it is. I don't think it's going to hold this thing. How about that, huh? I'll buy that. Now we have to set these points so we have an opening on them. It's about 14 thousandths. 14 to 18. Okay. My educated eyes say that's 14 to 18. I don't know if you can see them, but they're open 14 to 18. Now, we got all that honkus bonkus together. We put the rotor in. Now it only fits in there one way. There's a flat on one side. It fits against the flat in the shaft. Now, in order to put this lid back on, we are going to use our guide studs again. Now on some of these Caterpillars hanging this Magneto, you have to be able to see when those points open in order to make sure that you've got it timed right. That means you have to have the cap off. Well, if it's in a weird position where you're out of position trying to put this cap on and you get it in there cockeyed and put a screw in there and break one of these brushes, you're fucked until you can wait for standard Magneto in Chicago to send you another one for $8. You sit, cool your heels for a week. So put it on over the guide studs. And remember, these gaskets can get pinched right through here and try to go down with the cap. A brand new gasket is, pretty ticklish that way. You don't want that to happen to you. Okay, there, we got the cap on. Now these machine screws here, they're supposed to have a lock washer, a flat washer, and a little round gasket. And between these and the gasket on the cap itself, it keeps it pretty watertight in there. Take the guide studs back out. Put the real bolts in. Fuck. I forgot one little connection in there, which is connecting the points up to the coil. So I'm just finishing this up right now. Keep in mind, I'm going to take the cap back off. I'm going to put that last screw in, tighten it up. My own fault. I was having too much fun making a movie. So that's basically the way you put one of these things back together again. We've already done the impulse coupling part, so you're familiar with that. I will get this thing tied off. I will get it posted.